Hare Krishna. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'm continuing with the reading of this book. Srila Prabhupada is coming, written by my god sister Mahamaya Devi Dasi. Chapter 3. Boston, January 1971. Okay, she was staying with some people, and she was kind of tricked to going to the temple. She actually didn't want to go. She said that because the devotees, the Hare Krishna devotees, were happy all the time, and she mistrusted them because they were happy all the time. And she had come in contact with them several times before, but sometimes she'd cross to the other side of the street because she thought they were too happy. So some friends she was staying with in Boston, but at the same time she was singing Hare Krishna all the time, and she was staying with some people. I think they wanted to get rid of her also, so they kind of tricked her into going to the temple. We drove to the temple, a large house at 40 North Beacon Street in Alliston, on the edge of Boston, on Sunday, January 3rd, 1971. Somehow this has become a custom in America. They write the month, the day, and then the year. It's not logical, but this was my first visit to a temple, 2.5 years after I first saw devotees. Wow. Arriving at 11 p.m., we were greeted by brahmacharis, celibate male students, who were cleaning the temple, who were cleaning the house after the Sunday feast. Kula Shekhar, a young Englishman, escorted me into one room, while Bob and his friend entered another room, then exited out the front door, so they kind of dumped her. I didn't notice them leave. Sitting on a bare floor in an unfurnished room, I listened to Kula Shekhar talk about Srila Prabhupada as an authorized teacher of spiritual knowledge, teaching that we're not these bodies, but spirit souls, part and parcel of God. Kula Shekhar said, we are unhappy because we've forgotten God, and that chanting Hare Krishna awakens our dormant love of God, as it cleanses the dirt from our hearts. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This was the Maha Mantra. Maha means great, and mantra means to deliver the mind. Kula Shekhar said that when we admit we are suffering, we begin to become self-realized, because when we asked, "Who am I? Why am I suffering?" if we are sincere, Krishna helps us meet a spiritual master to learn the Vedic answers to our questions. Srila Prabhupada is such a spiritual master, he said. He can teach you to love God because he loves God. It was news to me that these people had a guru and a philosophy. Even though he presented things clearly, I twisted everything in my mind. I thought I was God. But what I liked best was that he was not trying to take advantage of me. That was a relief compared to what I'd been experiencing lately. I felt that everything he said was meant to help me, and I felt safe. I liked the exotic atmosphere and the aromas in the temple. It was brightly painted, and the lack of furniture was a stark contrast to ordinary life. Kulashekar got me some charanamrita to sip. The deity's bathing water mixed with yogurt and sugar. It tasted so wonderful that I thought, this is ambrosia from the gods. Although Kulashekar looked like an ascetic, shaved head, simply seated on a folded chadar or large shawl in the cold room, still I thought, this man is really enjoying. I don't remember agreeing to stay the night, but very early the next morning, some devotees found me curled up in my blanket. Someone had brought me to the ladies' ashram, a room in the attic over the 3rd floor. Oh, in America, ground floor is the 1st floor. So the 2nd floor is the floor above the ground floor. After bathing, so he was, the ladies had a room in the attic over the 3rd floor, which would mean over the South African 4th floor. No. 1, 2, 3. Over the 2nd floor, South African. After bathing, I was helped into a brightly printed sari. These people kind of like abandoned her at the temple. All the other girls wore either solid yellow or solid saffron saris, depending on whether or not they were married. So this sari made me stand out. This was a brightly printed sari. Later that day, I was given a coat and boots to wear. We went outdoors to chant Hare Krishna on the streets. So in the early days, we made everything. We would get boats of cloth and what Prabhupada called saffron, which is like orange or salmon or apricot, whatever you want to call it. We just get a whole, it was like cotton, acrylic, or polyester cotton. And we just get a whole, and the ladies would get it. So then we had all the married devotees wore yellow. Men wore yellow dhotis. And I don't think at that point they got into the They didn't have kurtas at that point, but we just wore a piece that was knotted over the corner, over the right shoulder, I think. There was a piece that was just knotted over the shoulder, and that we would wear T-shirts in the summer, and I forgot. Later on, we learned how to make kurtas. I remember in Los Angeles, we were so renounced. Everybody just put all their laundry in, and they washed it, and we'd go, and they'd have a big bin, and you'd just grab something to wear. Of course, people have different sizes, and then the unmarried ladies and unmarried men wore saffron. Well, actually, saffron is you know what color saffron is? It's like yellow. It's a spice. They put it in yogurt and sweet rice. That's saffron. And the Buddhist monks wear that color. Prabhupada called it saffron, but it's more, we wear apricot or orange, but Prabhupada called it saffron, so. In fact, it became the sacred color for the Hindus, orange. Like the Indian flag, it's got orange and white and green. And green is the sacred color for the Muslims, and orange was the sacred color for the Hindus, because the Hindu sadhus would wear orange, and white was for everyone else. They would put ashoks. Anyway, we all wore either yellow or saffron. I'll call it saffron, since that's what Prabhupada called it. Soon, and so then they went out. This is like her first day, and they put her in a sari, but a printed sari. There weren't many of those, but the ladies just tied her up in a sari. Soon I was in Harvard Square with this small group of devotees singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To my heart's content, I was finally admitting that I liked to chant. We were just down the street from Harvard University Press, and I didn't care if some employee passed by, recognized me. We chanted for hours in the cold. I loved every minute of it. So this was January. So this was winter. Add 6 months and you'll get South African weather. So it was like July in South Africa. Except colder because it was Boston. Chanting Hare Krishna on the streets is called Harinam Sankirtan, a devotee told me. This is new in America, but the most recent Krishna avatar, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, started the Hare Krishna movement in West Bengal, India, about 500 years ago by chanting on the streets. We took turns distributing Back to Godhead, BTG, magazines, and Simply Wonderfuls, sweet balls made from butter, powdered milk, and sugar. Powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar. A devotee told me these sweet balls acquired their name when our Guru ate one and said it was simply wonderful. If a simply wonderful fell on the ground, we'd brush off the dirt and eat it. It's prasadam, food offered to Krishna, went the explanation, so it can't be contaminated. Prasadam is mercy, so don't waste it. As for magazine distribution, if people say they don't have 25 cents for the magazine but promise to read it, give them the BTG free. Another thing is, we'd have a Sunday feast and there'd be like 12 preparations. We'd make Prabhupada samosas, which somehow they've acquired their name kachoris in this country. But Prabhupada samosas stuffed with peas and cauliflower, the way Prabhupada taught us. And they'd make halava and sweet rice, 2 sabjis, puris, rice and peas, and a lot of different things. So I guess they had paper plates, and whatever was left over we'd put in a big pot and heat it up the next morning for breakfast, because it's prasadam, it can't be contaminated. And we'd call it transcendental stew or something, I don't know. We didn't have a lot of money either, so no Indians. Okay. Back at the temple, we had our main meal of hot prasadam. I loved the food except for the soup made from dal beans, which I found too spicy. But I thought I could learn to like the dal given time. Jadharani Dasi sat next to me and introduced herself as the wife of the temple president, Satsvarup Das, who was then in Dallas looking for a suitable building for a gurukul or school. As I ate, Jadharani talked about Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Jagannath, and Srila Prabhupada. All these Sanskrit names were too much for me. I got everything confused. I'm a visual person, so without seeing the words, these sounds, including the devotee Sanskrit names, were jumbled in my mind. Ananga Manjari, who was Elaine Prabhu at that time, a 17-year-old from Boston, who had been there a few months, took charge of me. She bubbled over with so much enthusiasm that she bounced around the temple. She called me Emily Prabhu, explaining we call each other Prabhu or Master because we are all servants of the servants of Krishna. So Prabhupada, he called Govindadasi Prabhu. This calling ladies Mataji came later. That's an Indian thing that came later when devotees started going to India, but Prabhupada didn't introduce that. He called the ladies Prabhu, he called the men Prabhu. Or you can just call people by their name, which is what I usually do. She asked Carol, the 9-year-old